Mind the gap.
Welcome aboard, commuters. So this is issue 2 of Assassin's Creed, the official collection. This one is titled Ezio Auditore. I'm sure you'll correct me if I pronounce that incorrectly. As you'll know from previous issue, I don't know a lot about Assassin's Creed. I bought it primarily for the figures. I thought the figures looked very good, and also maybe to learn more about the series. I have done a little bit of research and I found out there's a couple of PlayStation 4 games out there. So once I've got myself sorted in my new house, I will be buying some of those games, and I'll just using some of my downtime. I'll give it a go. I'll give any game a go. So as usual, I'll start off with the figure first, and then I'll go through the magazine, and we'll just have a quick look at the front and back covers. So we have Ezio Auditore. Again, if I pronounced that wrong, I apologise. We've got this nice binder. I do like this metal ring. It just makes it nicer to go in the folder. And the main section, we see it's issue 2. And it's by Hachette Parts Works Limited. And we've got a section on the myth of the making. Leonardo's flying machine, Fly the Unfriendly Skies, and La Bella Italia, Renaissance Italy at its finest. And there is the price. Well, this is the price of issue 2, $6.99. So as I said in an earlier video, buying this as a figure and finding that the paintwork isn't that good, it's not a problem, because I do spend a lot more money on smaller figures. So it's very good value for money in that sense. That's why I'm going to carry on with the figure. So coming in issue 3, Haytham Kenway, your Haytham figure from Assassin to Templar, Secret Mohawk connection, and a long lost son. So that looks very nice. Actually, I'll be looking forward to that. I actually don't have it yet because my subscription for issue 3 onwards hasn't arrived yet. So we'll pop that to one side and we'll have a look at the now the box. I actually like the box. There isn't anything really to cut away, and all you do is just slide it open, and then obviously when I want to pop it back in the box, I've got this little piece of cardboard that will just hold it in, so I know it's not going to fall out. It sounds daft, but sometimes it's the small things that count. So it's in there tight. Right, so as per the last one, we have a nice textured base. So this will be nice. I mean, I may repaint. There's a sticker with authenticity on the bottom. AB13862. Is that how many they've published, do you think? 13, at least 13,000. Right, so now the first thing I noticed are these lines. They look absolutely dreadful. They don't seem to have followed anything. They look like they're just freehand. I mean, I'll be going through the magazine to see if there's anything they follow. And just like issue 1, the sculpt quality is quite poor. I don't know if I'll be able to file that or if I'll have to keep it as it is. I think I might have to keep it. The boots are painted lovely, and that's where it stops. Everything else is quite a poor quality. I must admit, now there's a nice. Now this is interesting, because this red bit there, you can see there's some little grooves, and it should follow the grooves, but it misses every single groove. Yeah, the paintwork is terrible. Is absolutely awful, which is such a shame for such a nice model. It's a really nice figure. Again, I'm not worried because I'm repainting it, but you know, that's the purpose. That's interesting. He's got one glove and one free hand. Yeah, the paint is I mean, I've got to be honest. I keep saying this. If I was buying this for a figure, I wouldn't entertain it. I really couldn't entertain it. But buying it as a figure to paint is beautiful, apart from the quality of the sculpt in places. I wonder if anything will be done. I'd like to know from other people who collect this, what do you feel is the quality? This is 2 out of 2, where there's poor finishing in a lot of places, and I'm really not sure if I'm going to be able to do anything about it. I may have to resculpt it. You know, I may have to actually file that right down and then fill in the places that I've missed. This is going to be hard work. Looks like there's some glue marks there. So you've got part matte and part shiny. I mean, look, the lines there are so bad. It looks like, I mean, my first thought was, were these blood drips? Because they look more like blood drips than they do pattern. What I'm going to do is, for my own curiosity, I mean, like I say, I don't know this figure, so I'm gonna finish the look at the figure here, but I'm going to keep him to one side, because when I go through the magazine, I'll be looking at some of the reference shots. So right, so let's have a look at the magazine. So we have on the first page, there we go. So we can see there, the lines, they're quite perfect. They're quite big, solid lines. And yet on mine, they look more like bloodstains. It's the only way I can describe it. They don't look anything like the same. So yeah, there you go. So I'm going to just pop the figure away, because my question has been answered in that sense. So now I've not memorized the issue 1, so obviously this guy has a date line, and I'm really not sure how he fits in with the first one. So this is all about his life. He has a branded ring finger. During the Italian Renaissance, newly recruited members of the Brotherhood were required to brand their left hand finger. He has hidden jewel blades, street fighting smarts, nobleman's robes, because he was born into a wealthy Florentine family. His missions often require elaborate costumes, such as during the Venice Carnival. So what I'm starting to learn here from Assassin's Creed is that this is an organisation maybe of assassins, and different people are selected for different roles based on their skills. So there'll probably be missions that this guy could do very well, such as like this mission where he requires elaborate costumes. So maybe the chappie from issue 1, he would be no good for some of the missions that this guy's good for. So again, I'm only up to issue 2 and I'm learning things. Growing up fast, that seems to be a bit of a trend. After seeing his family murdered, the Brotherhood's longest serving son travelled far and wide, charismatically enlisting allies from all walks of life. So yeah, this is a little bit about the background of the person. Again, there's some nice artworks that I can use for reference shots. Character profile, we have the Prophet, Pieces of Eden. An Apple of Eden is one of the several technologically advanced devices created by those who came before. I like that. It seems, when I first read that, I felt it sounded like a cop-out, as in, we can't think of what to call them, so let's just call them those that came before. But actually it's quite a nice name. I like that now. So we've got a little bit about the Brotherhood. So then we've got the good, the bad and the posers. We've got Leonardo da Vinci, Niccolo Machiavelli, Rodrigo Borgia, He leads the Catholic Church as Pope Alexander. I can't remember what XV1 is. That 16 or 14. And Marco Barbarigo. And then we've got Epic Yarns. There are few who really understand the power and significance of the Apple of Eden, but it is sent to Forlì where assassin ally Katrina Sforza will keep them safe from Templar attentions. So we've got the Battle of Forlì, and we've got the Bonfire of Vanities, Traveller Tales, Venice, Florence. Oh, I'm terrible with these pronunciations. And then we've got Flights of Fancy. Leonardo da Vinci requires a madman to test fly his aeronautical contraption. Ezio is a willing volunteer. So this is nice. We're starting to build up life here. Obviously, I'm guessing when you play the game, you just go straight into missions and bang, bang, off you go. What do these people do in between missions? So obviously, this guy he's testing for Leonardo da Vinci. We're bringing a character that we know of into the world. Most people have heard of Leonardo da Vinci, and obviously, it puts a time period that we recognise in. Obviously, years are just numbers, but when you actually bring events into those numbers, we start to get more of a feel. So I'll just read the first paragraph. Leonardo da Vinci first encounters Ezio when he delivers paintings to Villa Auditore. Each is a masterpiece, no doubt, but it is not too long before he is also deciphering the pages of Voltaire's Codex, which obviously was introduced into the last issue, and adding lethal new functions to Ezio's hidden blade. So obviously they're working together. So my homework for the next issue is to find out how Ezio fits in with the first guy. So there you go. There's the second issue. It's a nice little magazine. I quite like it. I'm learning from it. I've got a nice figure to paint up, so that'll be nice. It is a terrible quality. It's the best I can say about it. If I was Ubisoft, I'd probably be fuming, and they certainly should be. Hachette should be fuming. I'd like to know how many subscribers they would lose over this or have lost. If I was buying this just for the figure collection, I would be cancelling my subscription. But it fits the purpose I'm buying it for perfectly, which is to repaint it. It looks quite a simple paint job for me, because it's got nice big blocky bits of chunky details. But the quality of the actual model is quite badly finished. But we will press on, and one day I will get that started, and it could be fun. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I will speak to you in the next issue, which will be in 3 weeks' time. If you watch any of my other partwork videos, although this one and another magazine comes out fortnightly, and I've got another one that comes out weekly. For the first 4 or 5 issues, I'm going to actually just add an extra week. What I'd like to be doing is receiving copies before I actually publish the next ones.